Hi, everybody. We're live. That's the Empress Hotel there that you see in the image. Beautiful hotel, old at night. I love it. Love all the lights and everything. Right on the waterfront here in beautiful Victoria, BC. My name is Anita. For those of you who are here for the first time, uh, I I run this channel. I do a live stream every Sunday night. Sometimes I have a topic, sometimes I have a guest, and sometimes I just take questions and they can be random on any topic. So, tonight's a good night for you to just ask any of those questions that have been plaguing your mind, and I will do my best to answer them. I'm not an expert or a guru or anything like that. I've been in this space for a few years. I started low carb in about 2012, and then transitioned to keto, and now I'm carnivore. I've lost 145 pounds. I think we're creeping up to 150 pounds. Doing lion diet right now, just to see how that goes. And so this is a way of eating that has healed many things for many people, including myself. It's one of the very few things I've tried in my life that actually worked for me. So before we, start doing Q&A and all that, I just will do my usual housekeeping items. Want to welcome our one moderator tonight. We have Melissa, so bear with us. She's on her own in there tonight, but not really, because I know that there's a few of you in there. I saw just Jason Keto show up. Thank you, Jason. You're always so helpful with answering people's questions as well and being a good host and all those things. So it's not like you're all alone, Melissa. Bonnie is in Gettysburg, and she's touring all those old battlegrounds and whatnot. So she's hopefully having a great time doing that. And yes, thank you, Danny. Danny says, we are here to help her, and I appreciate that very much. So, but go ahead and ask questions, and we'll get to them all. We usually get to them all, and so I want to talk about the giveaway tonight first. So, hang on a second. Hang on. Okay, so let's talk about the giveaway. It's Carnivore Bars. Carnivore Bars, 2 of them, is going to go to one lucky person. All you have to do is put "eat meat" in the comments. It can be capitals, it can be small case, but it has to be altogether one word. No space in between the eat and the meat. It's "eat meat," all one word. So if you can do that, you will be entered automatically. We have 10 entries so far. 13, and counting. So get in there, put in your "eat meat," and we'll draw this about 5 minutes, at the top of the hour, and that'll be mailed to you. Now, I do want to say I want to say a couple of things about this. These are questions I've had. So the Carnivore Bar is a complete meal. One bar is 400 calories, and they're high fat. I typically will eat half a bar with a meal, but for travel, these are fantastic for travel. I have traveled with these on plane, twice this past few months. Fantastic for travel, because then you don't even have to go into any of those airport shops and look at the food. And the food in those airport shops are overly priced anyways. May as well get the Carnivore Bars and keep yourself safe. The other thing is, if you're expecting to get these and open it up and it's going to taste like a protein bar with anything sweet, you will be sad, because it is basically, this one is beef fat and salt. That's it, like grass-finished beef, grass-finished tallow. This one has a little bit of honey. Now, the honey ones are not sweet either, but they have a touch, just a touch. You can, if you just think about honey, you might actually be able to taste the sweetness in them. They're not supposed to taste like a chocolate bar, you guys. They're not supposed to taste like something yummy that's going to cause cravings. it's eat meat. We are meaty. These are meaty bars. So just wanted to explain that. I do like them better stored in the fridge, though. I'll say that. Same with my sardines. And I don't know, somehow it brings out, better flavor for me having these things in the fridge. So eat meat in the comments. Okay, so I want to give a general update because a few people have been asking. I am on day 20 of Lion Diet today. That is 20 days with no coffee, no sweeteners, no dairy, no cheese, no chicken, no pork, no eggs, beef, lamb, water, salt. I have had 20 days of beef, lamb, water, salt. I feel pretty fantastic. I feel like things are shifting in my chemistry or something. It's really interesting because on regular carnivore, in the several months, just randomly I would check it just to see, and my ketones would usually be 0.3, 0.5, maybe 0.6 or 7, my fasting ketones. And so, and I'm happy with that because, you're either making ketones or you're not. And that, lots of carnivores have that kind of ketone levels just from regular carnivore. There's not really there's not really a target, ketone level or anything in carnivore, unless, of course, you are suffering from some kind of, you've got cancer or something like that, and you're deliberately, going with the really high fat, getting those high ketones, which I wasn't really aiming for. But since doing Lion Diet, it's consistently over 1. It's like 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, which is it's a difference from what was happening. So it's kind of interesting. It could be because of the fatty beef. Maybe the fatty beef is the way to go. I know a lot of people get high ketones if they eat nothing but sardines. So, and they get like even higher ketones. I've done that before, but Lion Diet is a lot of fatty meat, and that's what I've been doing. So who knew? So it's going well. And, if you guys have any questions about that, then please go ahead and ask. So the other thing is, I wanted to update. I've done my first dog video. I know that a lot of people were asking me about my dogs and whether they eat carnivore. Yes, they are now meat based. Now, I did make some snacks the other day in my dehydrator that had liver and banana in them. I allow a little bit of fruit in the snacks. It's not part of their everyday meal. But liver banana snacks, that's my next video coming up next week for the dogs. And I'll do a few of those, like just sort of small videos. They're very short. And just showing how to make different treats for the dogs, and I'll also do one for like what they eat typically, like meal to meal, like a typical day's meals, and then answer some questions about how, why, when, where. I've had a lot of help from Melissa in feeding my dogs. Melissa is the moderator here tonight. And she has a long history working with dogs, training, feeding, all that. So I trust her, and they are doing really well. I will report on that later as to how well they're doing, in the video. But just two things I'll say real quick. Teddy was he was 3 pounds overweight, and he's a small dog, so 3 pounds is a lot. And he's now within a half a pound of his target weight, and he's not hungry. I mean, well, sometimes dogs can always be. He would keep eating if I let him, so there's no free feeding. He gets his 3 meals, he relishes them, and he's lost the weight he needs to lose. He's looking way better, and And Pippi, she's an elder dog and was no longer going on walks. That little old lady, baby chihuahua, little fluff ball, she can walk now. She can go quite a ways, and so we're pretty impressed with how she's doing. Um, I can't believe how much she can walk now. I mean, she's in her 15th year now. She just had her birthday. So, uh, if we can keep up the good food and getting her outside, to come for walks, it's great. So that's the quick update on them. So let's go over to the chat, the other chat. Oh, look at this. I want to welcome Davina Mason, who became a new YouTube member. Be sure to check in the member tab, the community tab, when you log into YouTube and look at your memberships. That is where I post the invitations to Zoom. I post that every Monday now. There's a Wednesday Zoom and a Friday Zoom. So I hope to see you at one of those. Mimi745, hello there. Okay, so I am working on my brown fat and can sit for 2 hours in 45-degree weather just fine in the morning, but in the evening, 60 Fahrenheit is really cold. Why? Wow, right out of my knowledge base there. I know that the cold, like those cold plunges and being, cold shower, ice baths, that sort of thing, are supposed to help the brown fat. But why it's different in the evening for you, for how you feel, I honestly can't say. And I did see another, like, you're in the Dr. Chafee group, so I know you have some access to Dr. Max there, and I saw that comment you made later about asking Dr. Max, and I think he might know. I think that's probably a good way to go. But good for you for doing that and trying these things out, because sometimes it's these little extras that can make a difference for us too. So thanks for the question, even though I couldn't answer it. I'm sorry. Carmen, hey you all. Carmen is doing Lion Diet with me. I hope everyone is doing great tonight. I am feeling great. Fantastic. I am so glad that you are feeling good, and thank you for your support too. Doodle Girl 62. Anita, looking lovely as always. Thank you. How is your knee feeling after 20 days without sardines? It is feeling fantastic. Now, I am making a concerted effort to go with the high collagen meats. Those fatty meats like ribs, briskets, those sorts of type of meat, they do have a lot of collagen in them. And lamb has a high level of omega-3 in it. And so I'm eating a lot of lamb and a lot of collagen. Bone marrow is another thing. All those things, there's nothing as convenient as those little cans of sardines, for getting that boost of omega-3s right there. But I committed to this 30 days. However, on the first day, I did say, I'm being transparent about this. If my knee started to hurt, I would definitely add sardines in, because I'm not trying to like obey the label and be strict because there's a label. Doing Lion Diet to get out the other things that may be causing any other inflammation. So for instance, the dairy and the cheese could be inflammatory. I know that it triggers my rosacea, for example, when I have too much dairy. And so my skin has stayed clear now for 3 weeks, so I'm pretty happy about that. And no big red nose, which I can sometimes get. And so I wanted to experience, if I could, the full 30 days. But my knee is important to me, and keeping that inflammation down. I think I've been successful so far, by choosing the meats based on how much collagen they have, and so that's kind of one of the hacks I'm doing. Although sometimes I just have a steak, like I don't make every meal a collagen meal, but a lot of them I do. So it is going well as far as my knee goes. I'm very happy about that because it was a concern when I started. I was like, well, how am I going to live without my sardines? But yeah, thanks for that question, Doodle Girl 62. Risa's Cluttered Kitchen. Hello there. I'm at work and still have another hour to go. I'm sneaking video time. Wow, that's awesome. I had someone tell me once that they were in church listening to me, and I was like, I don't know if that's allowed, but thanks for the support. If you're watching this somewhere else where you wouldn't normally watch a video, I just appreciate that. Thanks, Risa. Do you sweeten your coffee? The artificial sweetener is confusing. Well, right now I'm not drinking coffee. Before, when I was drinking coffee, I was not sweetening it with anything. I was adding cream, like heavy cream. We have some here where I live that has no fillers, and so that's how I got started back on the cream. Before, where I lived, I couldn't get it before. And so I just was drinking that black, no sweeteners. But yeah, well, maybe you can ask another question. What about what are you confused about exactly? Like, is it which one to use, whether to use it or not? I just, it's a personal choice. It's not an option on Lion Diet. And some people, have different feelings about it. And I'm definitely not the carnivore police or the keto police. So, I just want you to make the best choice you can for yourself. So if there's another question to sort of drill down what you might be thinking or wondering about, go ahead and ask it. Hello, Carnivore Collective. For your carnivore bar recipe, have you tried using butter or a mix? Do you think it would set up solid enough? I love cooking with tallow, but the texture of it is a bit much for me. So I was back when I was doing really high fat carnivore, I was making a lot of tallow bites, and my favorite was half tallow, half butter. And I also have made mayonnaise with, the butter mayonnaise. I've made it with half tallow, half butter as well. I find that's a nice combination. Using all butter, butter is really expensive here. The butter that I like is $8.99 a pound. It's a little rich. Whereas the tallow is it's a byproduct. Like, I save all my fat from cooking a brisket. You can get a jar of tallow from that, so that's free basically because I paid for the brisket. So I feel like cutting it half and half does work quite well. I have not tried it with the bar. I do keep my bars in the freezer and I eat them directly out of the freezer. So if you did that, it would stay solid. Whether or not it would stay solid, like in your purse or something, if you're bringing it with you somewhere, is another story, and I don't really know. But I do like the taste of the two together. If you're trying to find a compromise there. My food addiction. You look amazing. I have been watching you for years, even before you moved. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I just feel like things are getting better and better all the time. I think, one of the things that I would say to people as far as, how from where I've come to here is persistence, and even when I mess up, just getting right back on, just getting right back on like that. That's really the secret. There was a time when I went through years and years of following something, failing, and failing could have been as small as eating 8 ounces of tuna instead of 6 ounces or something, weighing and measuring my Weight Watchers meals. That was a failure, could send me into weeks of binging. And I think getting past that beratement and punishment of myself. I screwed up, I'm bad, I may as well eat. That is just not a thing anymore for me. It's like I screwed up, I'm not bad, I'm human. Next meal, what am I having? Bacon and eggs, or, well, not online diet, but you know what I mean. Like, it's next meal is where I make the correction. So I that and that was not overnight. Trust me, it was not overnight. That was a lot of work and persistence and just sticking with it. And those little results add up, like little victories, little wins. They add up over time and become a big win. So I would encourage everybody to just have patience, stay the course. Cat Diamond, do higher ketones equal weight loss? Not necessarily. And I've been there. Okay, so here, I mentioned a few minutes ago my 3 months of high fat carnivore. I had ketones 3 and 4 in the mornings sometimes, like high ketones. In that 3-month period, I did not lose any weight. I stayed the same. Now, I was doing, a healing protocol. I did not know about total daily energy expenditure. I was still kind of newish to carnivore. And so I didn't know where my where I should be eating. I ate high fat. I was eating 200 grams of fat or something in a day, and about 100 grams of protein, I think, and did not lose weight, but I felt fantastic. I got better sleep. There was all kinds of healing that happened. No more plantar fasciitis. Like, it was amazing, but I didn't lose any weight. And so it did set me up though for the following month. So I did the 3 months of high fat. The following month, I just got back on regular carnivore, and I tracked, and I lost 5 pounds that next month. So, it was like it primed my body to do something different with the food I was eating, I guess. I don't know. I'm not. One thing is I'm not a doctor or a nutritionist, or I don't have any scientific knowledge of these things. I do like to experiment on myself and see what works. And some things work, but in different ways that I expected, and some things work amazingly well, completely unexpected, like those sardines in my knee, which brings me to Kathy Hurst. Hi, Kathy. My knee is feeling great, Kathy. I'm actually looking forward to adding sardines back in, and I don't know when I'm going to do that. It could happen at any time if I feel the need, or it might wait until I'm sort of done with the lion diet, and then I'll start adding them back in. I miss them in some ways. I keep seeing them in my fridge because I have like 5 or 6 different kinds in my fridge, and I really credit them for helping to heal my knee. For those of you that don't know, about 3 weeks ago, I canceled my knee surgery. That I was on the short list, and they called to start scheduling things, and I was able to say, never mind, I don't think I need it. I don't have any pain anymore. And she said to me, well, yeah, pain is one of the reasons why people do get a knee replacement. So if you're not having it, that's great. Like, she was happy. So my knee's great. Thank you for asking. My food addiction, is that a ring that tracks? Oh, yes, this is my Aura ring. It's spelled Oura. Here in Canada, where I live, we get them at Best Buy. I think in the US, you can order them from Amazon. And maybe there are, retail stores that have them as well. It tracks, it tracks similarly to a Fitbit, but I find it easier to sleep with the ring than I did with the Fitbit watch. So I mean, it tracks all that. It tracks, your heart rate and your resilience and your steps and your sleep and all kinds of things. I do really love it. I do love it. Okay. Amy, hot. So on the Lion diet, what is your typical day of meals like? Do you get tired of it? I, you know, I love the Lion diet type meats. I love fatty meats. Just gonna say it. Love fatty meat. Nothing better to me than brisket or picanha with the big thick cap that they put on it at Costco, or they leave on it, I should say. Some Costco's I hear they trim, but my Costco, no, they just leave it on there. Um, I love that stuff, and so I think I'm the perfect candidate for Lion Diet. It's going well. I feel like the bloated, you know, I felt some bloating from all the dairy I was eating. I get in, I fall down these tunnels with dairy sometime. Like I'll leave it out for a month or something, and then I start having it again, and that gets bigger. And so I was really having way too much of it. So this was a good way for me to lose the dairy. Plus some other things that I don't know if they're inflammatory to me or not, but I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know what, if this would work for me. But my typical, like I eat a lot of beef and lamb. So I like steak bites, and I like I dry age my steaks. I love that, especially the sirloin cap. I do have a video that will be live tomorrow. What I eat in a day on Lion Diet. It kind of shows how I, a typical day. But yeah, just a big pot of beef stew. Oh my goodness. Like I can eat for days out of, with that, and it's comforting. One of my favorite soups is the beef tendon soup. I can eat that for a few days. I just, yeah. If I cook a brisket, there's lots of leftovers to use. I like crispy brisket in the air fryer. um, you know, bacon brisket, I think is what I usually call it. But yeah, I honestly, I don't get tired of that. I don't. Thanks for the question, and watch for that video tomorrow. Trisha T, I was wondering if you could please give the basic details of a fat fast, such as duration, estimated protein, fat, and daily calories. Okay, so I can, but I will say the daily calories are something that is going to differ for each person, depending on height, weight, activity level, age, all that stuff. So, but the macros, usually for a fat fast, you're trying to be up there in the 80, 85%, 90%, and up fat range. So that would mean eating the egg yolks without the whites would be something I would eat on a fat fast. It would mean eating pork belly, which is about 80%. So I would even add fat to that. The butter bites and tallow bites. It would be, creme brulee. I learned how to make creme brulee from Kelly Hogan. Man, that is good stuff. I only would eat that on a fat fast. It is cream, egg yolks, heavy cream and egg yolks. And so, it's not something I would have now because I'm doing lion, but beef fat trimmings, which I get from usually the butcher store. They will do it for you if you ask them. Like if you just like I would call the butcher store, and I've never had a butcher question this, but I've heard people who have, and I don't understand it. But I just simply call them and I say I'm looking for some beef fat trimmings. Do you think you could save some for me the next time you're trimming up steaks and roasts? They always say yes. Yep. How many pounds do you want? 5. And yep, take my name, phone number. Then they call me, and I come home with a big bag of fat trimmings and I portion it out. That is one of my favorite things. You can cook them real fast in the air fryer, get them all crispy, crunchy. You can even dehydrate them. I've heard some people do that. So uh, I would say if you can keep like on a fat fast day, I can only do it for a day. I've heard of people doing it for 3 days, but I can only do it for a day. The next day I just can't, it's enough for me. 1 day is enough. And I don't know if there's much reason to do more than that. I guess it depends on what your goals are, what you're trying to do there. But some people do it for 3 days. I know Kelly Hogan went for a while doing alternate carnivore fat fast, carnivore fat. She did that for a while, and she said she got really good results from that. So thanks for that question. And I just want to say too, I have some videos where I've done the fat fast tutorial type videos, so they're on my channel. My food addiction, strict carnivore day 35. I'm down 19 pounds. Wow, that's amazing. Holy smokes, good for you. Thank you, Jenny, for the super chat. How long should I anticipate carnivore weight gain? Well, some people do gain in the beginning as they're feeding their bodies, and usually it's happening with people who were under eating. So then all of a sudden, they're going from maybe 1,200 calories a day or something like that. A lot of us grew up on the concept of, in order to lose weight, you need 1,200 to stay under 1,200 calories per day. My doctor handed me that same diet sheet more than once. So when you go from something like that to all of a sudden you're eating steaks and animal fat, you can put on some weight. I really think that there's more behind your question. Like, that question is not a simple question. Some people never gain weight on carnivore. Some people do, and then they start to lose. So, but there's nuances and there's context behind these things, and without knowing any of those details, it's hard to say. I would, so if say you were a 1,200 calorie a day person coming to carnivore, you might consider just gradually amping that up so that you don't gain or you stop gaining, like go to 1,300 or 1,400 calories a day and stay there for a while, and then keep increasing it. Calculate your TDEE. That link is actually in the video notes. I'm just starting to put it in the video notes of every live stream I do, because the topic always gets there eventually. The questions get there, and I think it pays to know your TDEE, and then to track for a week to know what I am doing matching up to my TDEE, or even coming close, or what. Because if there is this big gap of here's where I am at 1,200, my TDE is 1,850. So if I was coming from 1,200 and all of a sudden the next day I started eating 1,850, when for years my body lived on 1,200, I would gain weight for sure. But eventually, hopefully things would catch up. But that's discouraging to gain weight, and I know that. So that's why, if you want to have a way to sort of take a closer look, the TDEE is a way to do that. Ninjira, I'm Kate from New Brunswick. Yay, New Brunswick. I'm in my late 60s and trying to get onto ketovore. I have experience on keto, but dang, that nasty bad food is so tempting. Yes, it sure is. I'm in my 60s too. I'm 66. I feel like I spent a lifetime eating those tempting foods, and They did not serve me well. You know, they brought me to over 320-ish pounds, and I'm happy to not be eating them now. It takes about 3 weeks to get, like 3 weeks of clean clean ketovore, no keto treats or snacks or anything like that. Just meat and vegetables. You know, if you did 3 weeks of just that, nothing sweet, then the other things become like that temptation starts to go away. It takes 3 weeks to get that out of your system. And so, you know, that might be something that you could challenge yourself with. Can I go 3 weeks? Just bare bones keto or ketovore? I mean, ketovore is just keto with less carbs, really. Or carnivore with a few carbs. You know, we have too many labels. They kind of drive me crazy. You know, if you think about what Dr. Ken Berry says, which is the proper human diet, meat, vegetables, fat, single ingredient foods, no seed oils, no grains, no processed foods, even the ones that say keto on them. Those are the ones you want to run away from, especially. So no, you know, no ultra processed foods, nothing like that. Meat, vegetables, fat. If you can do that for 3 weeks, it'll quiet the food noise in you, and the temptations will be settled. So try that. But thanks for the question, and thanks for being here. Hi, Kathy Dixon from the Kingdom Way Keto to Carnivore. Do you drink hydrogen, sparkling, or flavored sparkling waters on Lion? I personally don't. Now, I don't drink those waters anyways, and it's not because of anything. I don't have anything against those types of waters, but the bubbly waters, the sparkly bubbly waters, they really trigger my acid reflux. I suffered for years with acid reflux. I was on medication, and I'm no longer on that I was on a 15-year prescription that I found out later was linked to dementia and a few other things. I'm no longer there on that prescription. And so every now and then, you know, I might have something like, I've tried the sparkling waters before, and it definitely triggers my acid reflux. I can't do them at all. And so I don't. And as far as Lion Diet, I don't know. I think if they have any, it's really beef, salt, and water. Pretty sure it's no flavors. But I'm not the Lion Diet police. So if it gets you through, I would try it without, though. You know, just try the water. Bone broth is something that I rely on a lot right now. I've made like 3 batches in the last 3 weeks of bone broth, and it kind of, you know, serves that beverage purpose, I guess, besides water. Great question, though. I'm actually going to look into that and see what other people do. Saint Ronnie became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. And same message to you, to look in the membership tab to find the Zoom meeting invites. Carnivore Moxie, I'm going to start Lion Diet. We'll go shopping tomorrow and get food prepped. Good for you. I'm going to be on it for a while, I think. I think I'm going to go a little more than 30 days. Maybe a lot more. I don't know. I still haven't, you know, figured out when I'm going to end it. You know, but I'm going to keep going. So, and there's quite a few people in this live chat, who are also doing Lion. And they're just, you know, they're doing the best they can. And I look forward to having more people trying it out. So good for you. Pam, did you have to go to a butcher to get those beef shanks? No, I got those from Costco. Did you see how big they were? They were like the Costco size. That's, you know, I couldn't believe how big they were. They were a pound each. Hey, Sherry Morgan, thank you for the super chat. That is very generous of you. Do you feel a difference when you lamb versus beef with the extra omega-3, or is there not really a difference? No, I don't feel like an exact, yeah, it's not enough of a difference that I can put my finger on it and say, aha, my knee feels better because I ate lamb last night instead of beef. But like I said in the beginning, like I'm really choosing, the real collagen filled things like the beef shanks that we just talked about. They not only have collagen and fat, like good fat. You cook any of the meats that you cook low and slow are going to have a lot of collagen. So stewing meat, brisket, shanks, they have those big marrow bones inside them, and the bone marrow has glucosamine in it, and I didn't know that before. I was looking into it this week. It has glucosamine and of course collagen and other things too. There's a special fat it has. I should have written it down. The name escapes me, but though. So I'm really focusing on getting the biggest bang for my buck nutrition wise. That will also help my joints, and so and lamb is pricey, I have to say. So that is a factor for many people. So if you go after those those low and slow cooking meats, you're gonna get a good amount of collagen, and that's gonna help things feel better too. That's for everybody out there. So yeah, thanks for your question, Sherry. And are you using Element daily during your lion diet? I'm using the raw unflavored Element, but I haven't been using it daily like I was with the flavored ones. And I have to think that, I hate to admit it, but I have to think that part of that might be because they're not as appealing to me as the sweet ones. Who knew, right? So I'm just being honest. I'm being transparent here because, I'm like everybody else in this chat here. I'm fighting the good fight to get to my best health, and I learn new things about myself and what I really need and versus what I really want over time. So yeah, raw and flavored Element is what I'm having. I love it in my bone broth, to be honest. I like that a lot. But I just don't do it every day. Okay, Johnny or Joni, have such a sweet tooth. Is any okay for us? The question is it okay for you? If I know that there are people out there, I've seen them in my groups, I've seen them, some of them maybe here, that do still have something sweet in their keto diet, in their ketovore diet. And they are doing well. And I lost a lot of weight, still having keto sweets and still including things like that. But I feel like I just want a little bit more. I want a little less inflammation. I want to see how far I can go. This was a personal choice for myself to see what would happen, if I did 30 days without any sweeteners. What would happen if I did 30 days, ruminants only, no eggs, no dairy, all that stuff. My mind gets curious about these things sometimes. So that's where I'm coming from. Only you can know the honest answer to that, as to whether or not your sweet tooth, whether or not you should try to lose it. And to lose it, you do 3 weeks without, see how you feel. The noise will lessen. So that's a personal choice you'll have to make for yourself. Marie McKim, I've had a rough couple of weeks and I am back. I appreciate you. Well, I appreciate you too and your honesty. We've all been there, done that. And we may be been there, done that again in the future. I don't know. I just know that when I've had those down times and when I've had those times where I made mistakes and gave in, the most important thing was to come back right away. Now, I just want to do a quick Carnivore Bars, eat meat, all one word in the chat. You will be entered to win. So we have about 15 minutes left. But I'm glad you're back, Marie, and you know, just keep trying, and thanks for being here. Doodle Girl 62, congratulations on your happy knee, and congratulations to Pippi too. Mobility is a wonderful thing. Yes, both for myself and the dogs. Joni, when you say high fat, what were you eating? 85% and above macros from calories from fat. So tallow, butter, fat trimmings, pork belly, egg yolks, no egg whites, that kind of thing. Susan, I was in ER with pericarditis this week and admitted to hospital. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I fell off the carnivore plan. Today, my coach said go strict carnivore on chicken and fish, salt to season. I feel so much better. What else? What else can you eat? Is that what you're asking? So strict carnivore to me would include beef and lamb. I mean, I feel like I'm doing the strictest carnivore there is right now, which I believe is lion diet. So I'm thinking that chicken and fish, he's trying to have you on a low fat carnivore diet. It almost sounds like, are you adding any fat to that? Is he maybe worried about the fat, that it caused your issue? I don't know. I'm just sort of based on what you said here, I'm just sort of making some, trying to figure that out. Why the chicken and the fish? I know that in my past history, before I found keto and the importance of fat, chicken and fish were my go-to diet foods because they are typically low in fat. So just be careful with that, because we need to have a fat. We need to have, I would say, a minimum 60% calories from fat in our diets, for our hormones and everything else. Michelle Mitchell, I am on a layover in Dallas heading home to Alaska, eating brisket. Got some strange looks from the guys when I ordered. I had to repeat no sauce, no bread several times. Yeah, well, good for you for doing that. And awesome that you can get it at, I'm assuming that's at the airport. That's crazy that you could get that like that, because normally, too many temptations at the airport. For me. Caden Ledger. Hello, Miss Anita. Did you catch Kelly Hogan's latest video with the three women, Maggie, Violet, and Una? Hubby says I'm an Una. Do you have any experience with any of this? Yes, I caught that video and I loved it, and definitely it makes sense. Because some people, it's like the person who asked earlier, when will they stop gaining? They were probably, they were, so the three women, there was one who was under eating. Was that Una? I don't remember which name went with which scenario. They were probably that person, and were, on maybe a 11 or 1200 calorie diet. And then, to try to go up to where they're supposed to be, can cause weight gain. And so Kelly always recommends to increase it slowly until you get there. So for myself, I do have experience with this. So that 3 months that I did of high fat, where my ketones were really good and I didn't lose any weight, I was eating 2,000 calories a day during that time. And now, knowing what I know now about TDEE, if I had been eating 1850, which is my baseline, or less, if I had eaten 1850 or less, it would have been a different story. And, I think it does matter for some people, not for everybody. There are some people who can just eat the meat till they're full, lose weight. I just wasn't one of them. Okay, We have 10 minutes left. I'm going to go through these questions. Has anyone tried dried sardines salted for a healthy snack? Yes, I dehydrated sardines in my dehydrator. I did a video on it. So yes, you can dry sardines. Dogs love those too. Those are great snacks for dogs. Great carnivore snacks. So yeah, they are good. And what the other thing that I could do with them is crumble them over like egg salad or chicken salad or something. Carnivore Catherine, any info on blood sugar issues, even on carnivore? Getting into ketosis is difficult. Oddly, I added a tiny bit of carbs with half an avocado. I was in moderate ketosis, 83 blood sugar. My fat is high. Yeah, so some people do, all the people that have, say, blood sugar issues, it's like a spectrum. There's going to be people who are borderline with that, and there's going to be people who are very insulin resistant, and it's very hard to move the needle. We don't really have to worry too much about getting into ketosis on carnivore unless there is something we're actively working on to try to heal. If, maybe that tiny bit of carbs, maybe the avocado was, the fat that you needed, I would try to add, well, you said your fat is high, so I don't know what you call high. But so my morning blood sugars have been 4.8 and ketones 1.1 1.2 in that area, but my morning sugars have gone as high as 5.2, I think, or 5.3. It's those things can change, and I wouldn't get too hung up on those numbers. I mean, if you're highly insulin resistant and you're diabetic, that this might be something more to track. But if you're just trying carnivore, it's early days for you. You don't necessarily need to be in ketosis. It'll even a low number means you're making ketones, so it doesn't have to be high or even moderate. Carmen, it's funny how I didn't feel bloated before Lion, but somehow I feel less bloated. I think egg whites maybe. Egg whites are allergenic to a lot of people. A lot of people are sensitive to it. Just Jason Keto has gifted another ketogenic woman membership. He spun the wheel again. So, and it looks like it went to Katrina C. Wow, that's great. Congratulations, Katrina. Hope to see you at the Zoom meeting. Susan, I am sold on carnivore. Me too. Me too. Welcome to the Carnivore Club. Trisha T, thank you for responding to Fat Fast. Do I follow TDEE on Fat Fast or eat less calories? No, just eat fat for the day. I don't quite understand. Also, is it 10 to 15% protein and remainder fat? Yes. Is Fat Fast meant for weight loss? It can be. It can be. It really depends. You're going to have to just try it and see what happens. Kelly Hogan swears by it, but she's a totally different person and metabolism and human being than I am. So for me, I can't do as much fat fasting as she can. I can't eat as many calories as she can. She said she could eat 3,500 calories a day on Fat Fast and lose weight. That's not me. So you're going to have to try and see how it does for you, whether it helps you or not. A quick Fat Fast can be a little metabolic adjustment that helps you keep going with your plan. Susan George Rydberg, did you remove all the canned goods like beans from your pantry? At some point, yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen a can of beans in my pantry. I highly recommend removing anything from your pantry that might be tempting to you. You can donate it to a food bank or your kids or your neighbors or anybody, the church, whatever, and have only the things you can eat there is a really good way to get to where you want to be. Ninjira, thanks for the response. I've been a fan for a while now. I'm glad I found you. Well, thank you for being here. Shirley, 79 years old, struggling just a bit lately with carnivore due to family functions and a slip, but focusing again. This way of eating has helped with my IBS. Yes, a lot of people with IBS love carnivore. All that crap about needing fiber, so not true. It's been debunked. So yeah, good for you. Keep going with that. The family functions. Eat before you go. Bring some food with you. That's kind of what I do, and it works really well. I'm trying to figure out how to manage making meals for the family as I do on the weekends. So what I've always done, in fact, I got family coming over right after this live stream for dinner. I make all kinds of separate things. So I make separate meat. I make separate side dishes. I make separate, like I buy things. If there's things that are too tempting for me to make, I will buy a package of it, and then I don't have to touch it or smell it or look at it too much. So it's all everything is compartmentalized. I just go for the meat, and everybody else can help themselves to the other things, and the leftovers go with the kids. So that's how I do it. Will you check your weight after 30 days? Yes, I will. I'm going to do a wrap up, and I'm going to share my measurements and weight and the whole shebang. Shirley, I just want to mention I love your brown butter bites, game changers. Yes, I love those too. Thank you for trying them. Diane, can you have egg white protein bread while doing an egg fast? Yeah, I would say yes, but what I would do, because it's all egg whites, what I would do is add some extra egg yolks in the day, because the egg fast is, 1 egg per tablespoon of fat. But if it's just egg white bread, you want to have some more fat with that, or you want to have the egg yolks with that, because that's only the egg whites. Okay. New Keto Mojo user having difficulty getting test strips from packaging. Oh, yeah. I don't like that packaging. I know exactly what you're talking about. Even cutting with scissors a mess. Any idea or hints? I hate the packaging. So yeah, you basically have to take the little strip and tap it so that hopefully the strip goes down to the bottom of the plastic package, and then you just snip the top and then dump them out. The 4 of 6 keeps it all in a little container. I like that better. I just have to open the container. But yeah, write them and complain. Maybe they'll change that. Just Jason Keto. If I cleaned out my pantry, my better half wouldn't be happy with me. Yeah, I mean, you know what you can handle though. If you can handle that, seeing the stuff. Some people do. They'll have a special cupboard or a special place in the pantry. Or a high shelf or something like that. They'll do that, and that way you don't have to interact, or with the foods that are tempting. And I've certainly done that in my time, because when I first started low carb and keto, I had teenagers in the house. That was a nightmare. So sometimes you just have to do different things to cope with that. Diane says, "Thank you for answering my question. You're so welcome." Okay, we're going to go to the draw now. We're at the end of the questions. You guys, you had so many great questions. Thank you for asking them. Let's see who, eat meat is your last chance to get it in there. How many do we have? We have 161 entries. That's pretty good. So let's go. Who will be the winner? Susan. So congratulations on that. I am so happy that you won. You had many great questions today. So, this is fantastic. So what I need you to do, Susan, is to email me and send me an email with your full contact details to ketogenicwoman@gmail.com. And when you do that, I will package up your carnivore bars and send them off to you. You can give them a try. So, wow. Fantastic. We are at the end of the questions. I want to, I would love to say hello to all of you in the chat, but I'm seeing it going out now. Like it's scrolling so fast. So many people were here. Thank you so much. Some of you are in my group and in, different things below. It's amazing. It's amazing to see you here as well, supporting me. I thank you for that. So, have a great rest of your Sunday. I am going to go and start preparing food for a family dinner. And I, again, love you guys. Appreciate you. See you next time. Thank you.